Okay, so once again, as I mentioned, no, our topic is about work measurement, the application of techniques which is designed to establish the time for an average worker to carry out a specified manufacturing task at a defined level of performance. It is concerned with the duration of time it takes to complete a work task assigned to a specific job. So it means that the time taken to complete one unit of work or operation, it is also that the work should complete in a complete basis under certain circumstances which take into account of accountant's time. So again, work measurement helps to uncover non-standardization that exists in the workplace and non-value adding activities and waste. So work has to be measured for the discovery and eliminate loss of ineffective time, establish standard times for the performance measurement, measure performance against realistic expectation, and to set operating goals and objectives. Okay? So, to discuss, of course, that I just simply share the presentation submitted by Madam.
Good afternoon sa lahat po. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon po sa lahat ng mga classmates ko. My name is Irisel Zapatero. I'm gonna report the topic about work measurement. Work measurement. What is work measurement? Work measurement is concerned with the determination of the amount of time required to perform a unit of work. According to the British Standard Institution, they define work measurement as the application of techniques designed to establish the time for a qualified worker to carry out a specified job at a defined level of performance. It is a means of measuring the time taken in the performance of an operation in such a way that an ineffective time is shown up and can be separated out. It is used to set standard time to carry out the work so that an ineffective time is not included later. Work measurement is important for promoting productivity in an organization. It enables management to compare alternative methods and to do initial stopping, and it also provides basis for proper planning. So, ano po ba yung objectives ng work measurement? Bakit meron po tayong work measurement? Una po is to compare the times of performance by alternative methods. Next is to enable realistic schedule of work to be prepared. So, dito po binibase nila sa work measurement. Ito yung basis nila sa preparation ng work schedule, yung realistic. Next is to arrive at a realistic and fair incentive scheme. Next is to analyze the activities for doing a job with a view to reduce or eliminate unnecessary job, to minimize the human effort, and to assist in the organization of labor by daily comparing the actual time with the target time. So, kung ano naman po yung uses of measurement, saan po natin ginagamit ang measurement? Ang una po is planning the work of a workforce. So, ginagamit po ito para maplano po kung ano po yung mga gagawin ng isang workforce. Manning jobs. Sa manning jobs, to decide how many workers it would need to complete a certain job. Scheduling the task allocated to people. Next is costing the work for estimating contract prices and costing the labor content in general. Next is used in determining machine effectiveness. So, ginagamit din po pala tong work measurement para ma-determine po kung yung po bang machine is effective. Nagagamit po ba siya ng maayos? Sunod po is calculating the efficiency and productivity of workers. So, ito din po kayo para makalculate daw po kung yung po mga worker nyo is productive po siya. And last is providing fair returns and possible incentive bonus payment schemes. So, ito din daw po ginagamit para po maging fair yung mga incentive schemes or yung mga bonus na ino-offer po ng isang organization sa kanilang mga empleyado. Next is yung work measurement, meron po siyang mga techniques na ginagamit. Ang unang-una is ang time study. Ano po ba yung time study? It is a structured process of directly observing and measuring human work using a timing device to establish the time required for a completion of a work by a qualified worker when working at a defined level of performance. So, itong time study is measuring the time through stopwatch. Dito daw po sa time study, gumagamit po ng stopwatch para po ma-measure natin yung time. Yung study is best suited for short cycle repetitive jobs. So, time study procedure consists of the following steps. Ito yung mga steps para sa time study procedure. Unang-una, select the job to be timed. Next is to standardize the method of doing the job. Next is to select the worker to be studied. Next step is to record the necessary details of the job and the conditions of work. To divide the jobs into elements. And the last is find out the time taken to do every single element. A second technique for work measurement is using synthetic data. Ano po ba yun? Ano po ba to? A technique for building up the time for a job or plans of the job at a defined level of performance by totaling element times obtained previously from time studies and other jobs containing the elements concerned are the synthetic data. So, yung synthetic data po, gumagamit po siya ng mga data from the other studies, katulad po ng time study. It is a technique which builds up standard times using data obtained from previous time study. Next po, example po ng synthetic data. So, yun daw pong publishing a book, yung pagpapublish ng book, mayroon daw po siyang 4 elements. Yung typing, editing, printing, and binding. So, the time taken for doing each element is first found out using time study. So, ginamitan po natin ng time study para malaman natin kung gaano po katagal yung oras para matapos po yung bawat element. So, yung typing daw po is 40 days. Yung editing is 30 days. Yung printing is 20 days. And binding is 10 days. Pagkasama-samahin po natin yung mga oras na yun, pag-add po siya for the total of 100 days. So, it takes 100 days to publish a book. Yun po yung example ng paggamit ng synthetic data. Ginamit po natin yung data na nakuha through time study para po mag-come up tayo dito sa 100 days. Ano po bang advantages ng synthetic data? Data from many studies is more likely to be accurate and reliable than that from the few. So, sa pagdami po ng mga studies na pinagkuha natin ng data, pagtaas din po ng accuracy po ng data. Once established, the use of synthetic data means that less time of measurement personnel is spent on routine direct observation, thereby releasing skilled resources to other important duties. Kapag daw po na-establish na po yung synthetic data sa isang organization, so, konti na lang po yung time na kailangan para po magkaroon ng routine direct observation. So, yung personnel na nagpa-perform ng direct observation, pwede mo na siyang ilagay dun sa iba pang mga important duties. The use of synthetic data over direct observation can yield a saving of up to 90% of the cost of direct observation. So, kapag ginagamit na daw po yung synthetic data, makakapag-save ka ng 90% ng cost ng direct observation. Kasi nga, hindi mo na kailangan na magkaroon ng direct observation, mayroon ka ng synthetic data na established. Next techniques po ng work measurement is work sampling. Work sampling is a technique in which a large number of observations are made over a period of time of one group of machine, processes, or workers. Each observation records what is happening at that instant, and the percentage of observation recorded for a particular activity or delay is a measure of the percentage of the time during which that activity's delay occurs. Ano po bang objectives ng work sampling? Unang-una po, to measure activities and delays while a man is working and percentage of that he is not working. It means a fair days of work. So, minimeasure na po nito yung oras ng isang worker na nagtatrabaho siya at yung oras na wala siyang ginagawa, yung idle time niya. So, to measure the manual task, that is to establish time standard for an operation. Saan po ba ginagamit? Ano po ba yung application ng work sampling? Estimation of the percentage utilization of machines, tools, cranes, trucks, etc. So, ginagamit po ito para po ma-estimate yung utilization po, kung gaano po kataas or gaano po kaganda kung na-utilize po ba natin yung mga machines, yung mga tools na nasa isang organization. Estimate an avoidable delay for deciding the delay allowances. So, na-estimate din po through work sampling yung mga delay po na nangyayari para po makapag-come up po tayo ng allowances for these delays. Estimate the percentage of the time consumed by various job activities. So, dito din po ini-estimate daw po kung gaano po katagal, kung ano ba yung oras na naku-consume kapag nagpe-perform po ng supervision, ng repair or ng inspection sa isang sa isang job, ng project. Last application is used to find out time standards, especially where job is not repetitive and where time study is not possible. So, ginagamit din daw po siya para magkaroon po ng time standard. Lalo na kung yung mga trabaho po is iba-iba po siya, hindi po siya yung repetitive jobs. At ginagamit din po ito kung yung dun sa mga jobs na hindi applicable yung time study. So, ano po bang advantages ng work sampling compare sa time study? First is operators not subjected to long period of observation. Group operation can be easily studied by a single analyst. Does not require continuous observation for a long period of time. Many activities which are impractical or costly to be measured by the time study can be measured by this. So, observation may be taken over a period of days, weeks, thus decreasing the chance of day-to-day or week-to-week variation affecting result. So, yung observation do is pwede mangyari siya sa over a period of days lang. So, mamabalit mo po yung chance na mag-observe ka araw-araw, yung araw-araw mo observation, may iba-ibang result. So, magbavari yung result. So, parang makaka-apekto po yun dun sa overall result po ng ating sampling. So, the man hours spent by the analyst are much less. Next is it can be stopped anytime without affecting the results. Random observation are taken by avoiding prolonged observation. Less fatigue and less tedious to observer. Generally requires less time in calculating the results and no timing device are needed. Hindi natin kailangan dito gumamit ng stopwatch or kahit anumang timing device. And last is clerical time is minimized. So, ito po may example po tayo ng work sampling. Meron daw pong isang worker for 8 hours a day na trabaho niya. So, inobserve niya siya for total of 40 times siya na na-observe. Dun sa 40 times na yon, 36 times is nagtatrabaho siya and 4 times is wala siyang ginagawa, naka-idle siya. So, para ma-compute po natin yung percentage based dun sa observation, yung working time ng worker dun sa 8 hours is 90%, a total of 432 minutes. Yun naman pong time na hindi siya nagtatrabaho is for 10% for a total of 48 minutes. So, dun sa buong 8 hours, 48 minutes na hindi siya nagtatrabaho. Next, techniques of measurement of predetermined motion time study or PMTS. So, itong PMTS, it is a technique whereby times established for a basic human motion are used to build up the time for a job at a defined level of performance. Gumagamit daw po ito ng human motion, katulad ng pagtaas ng kamay, pagkurap ng mata, yung pag-abot mo ng mga bagay-bagay sa paligid mo, yung paghakbang mo, yun po. It is a technique for synthesizing operation times from the standard time data for basic elementary motion comprising the operation. The most common used PMTS is known as the methods time, measurement, or MT. Last technique po is the analytical estimating. Ano po ba yung analytical estimating? It is a technique whereby the time required to carry out elements of a job at a defined level of performance is estimated partly from knowledge and practical experience of the elements concerned and partly from synthetic data. So, ina-estimate na po dito yung time, saka yung cost, based po dun sa knowledge at practical experience po nung kung sino man po yung nag-estimate. And based din daw po dun sa naka-establish po na synthetic data. To improve accuracy, the whole job is broken down into smaller individual tasks. This is because any errors in the time estimates may be seen as random and will therefore compensate for each other. So, the most commonly used by the bid makers. Ito pong analytical estimating is most commonly used by the bid makers, usually in the construction industry or skilled trades, to develop an approximation of a given project cost. So, the project is broken down into various tasks necessary to complete it. And then, these are estimated for time and cost based on experience. So, example po nito, kasi based on experience daw yung mga skilled trades, halimbawa, yung parang mga aircon repair, So yung worker, based dun sa experience niya, pag nakita niya yung aircon na observe niya, makikita niya dun kung gaano katagal bago niya maayos and kung magkano po yung magagastos. Based po dun sa mga experience niya sa pag-aayos ng aircon. So yun po yung example po ng analytical estimating. Ayun lang po and thank you.
Okay, so to give you some additional inputs regarding the work processes, no, or the work measurement rather, no. Again, as what discussed, no, there are some techniques of work measurement, no, the time study, activity sampling, predetermined motion time system, synthesis from standard data, estimating, and so on and so forth. Okay, so again, the work measurement concept has evolved from manufacturing world but has not been fully adapted yet to the global shift to the service sector. So certain factors create inherent difficulties in determining standards times of labor allocation in service jobs. So wide variation in time between arrivals and service program times, the difficulty of assessing the damage done to the organization by long customer waiting times for service. This difficulty makes it hard to calculate the break-even point between raising worker output, which minimizes labor cost but increases customer waiting times and reduce service quality. Okay, so there are some model actually which overcome most of the above mentioned difficulties. So by taking a multi-domain approach, no, the model deploys a series of indicators for a correlation between outcomes and waiting times. The indicator values are affected by service level of urgency, and the model determines the best break-even point by comparing the operational cost of an additional worker with the economical benefit cost by the decrease in, of course, waiting time. No? Thus, the model finds that the best balance between worker output and service quality. So I think that's it for work measurement.